to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Well, I gave you a tribute to Franco, and I felt very heartfelt by doing it. And then somebody suggested to me, you have a lot of interviews with him. Why don't you bring them back and revisit the legend one more time so people can see what he was all about? And there'll be plenty of people who haven't seen it the first time, might enjoy it the second time. So I'm bringing this out to you in parts 1, 2, and 3, and I think I have a fourth part that are pretty much behind the scenes. And I think you'll enjoy that as well. One of them's in his office as well. So stay tuned for part 1 of Legend Franco Columbu Revisited. I think you're going to really enjoy it. I'm just going to start. Camera's rolling. Welcome to Rick's Corner. I'm very, very happy to have today a very long-time friend of mine of over 50 years, a wide world, well-known bodybuilder all over the world, probably the most famous in the world, a chiropractor, and a great guy. And after all this time we've been able to spend time with each other and do this show, it's my honor to have here Dr. Franco Columbu. So good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good, and now that I saw you, I'm even better.
You know, you look like, I'm amazed that you drew this picture, actually.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you made the bar bend. I
Yes.
was the only one that lifted so much weight and bent the deadlift bar.
Well, this is why I did this one too, because this is the Gold's Gym one, autographed to my friend Franco, which I'm going to give you when we leave the show. And this is also you.
Thank you. I think this is incredible. They became the most famous pictures.
It's the largest selling icon in the world, right? So you're promoting, we're here to talk about your books, but we're going to talk about the past too. So let's talk a little bit about the book that you have out right now, the audio books.
Yeah, this book is called Winning Bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
And actually was the first published book in America by a publishing company in Chicago. And after that, then many people started printing books.
Yeah.
And coming out with books. It was the first training book. And the reason why I came out so good is because I was training at that time, I was going to chiropractic college, and then I was learning a lot of stuff, so I wrote the book.
I remember those days very well. And then you have other books to follow. That's not the only one.
I wrote around 7 or 8 or 10 books, but this book is like the most simple book,
Mm-hmm.
and sold the most.
Okay.
I sold actually I sold 500,000 books altogether over
Really?
the years.
Oh my God.
And it's actually now, we have audio because it's out of print.
Audio books, I think, are really a good way to go nowadays because people like to listen in their cars and they're doing stuff. They don't have time to sit and read, right?
But you got many reasons. One of them is you will have to go to a bookstore to buy the book.
Right.
They don't have it there.
Right.
Mail it is heavy and costs more.
Right.
And now with this audio system,
Yeah.
it's like still mind-boggling that if we take the phone and then I look at my book there. It's incredible.
You know, it's funny when you say that because the only phone that I remember was the one hanging on the wall in Gold's Gym. Remember?
But, you know, I grew up worse than that because it was this phone in Gold's Gym, and that's where Arnold called from when I was still in Germany, because I was in Germany and he came here first. He would go and pick up the phone and call me in Germany. And Joe Gold loved Arnold so much that he never complained. Nobody could touch that phone in reality.
It's a funny thing because it was a payphone on the wall and it would ring and Zabo would be sitting in the barber's chair with his glasses on and say, "Hey Zabo, the phone's ringing." He'd say, "That's all right, they'll call back." He would never answer it.
You know, you incredible that you remind me of Zabel. Zabel, people will come to my chiropractic office and the guy says, "I need to train." I say, "Send him to Gold's Gym." I said, "Look, cost $150, you apply," and then tell Zabel and Eddie Giuliani, they were the managers,
Right.
use my training program.
Right.
You know, or I will take the book, Winning Bodybuilding, open it up and say, "This is the intermediate, here, take the book and go." He will go there, pay the fee, join the book, the gym, and then we'll call Eddie or Zabel is sitting there like half sleepy, and he will say, "Zabel, can you show me the training program?" And he will turn over Zabel and say, "In this gym, you don't have to do that. You're supposed to know." He says, "This is a professional gym. The champions train here. You're supposed to know how to train. I'm not going to do that." And they come back complaining to me.
That's how he was. He had no ambition to get out of that chair. He was just like You do it yourself. I don't want to be
And
bothered.
but he did some sit-ups,
Oh, he did those.
couple trainings, and he always had abdominals. You know, he always looked good.
He had sit-ups with his dark glasses, and he's rocking. I think he was asleep through about 1,000 of them. But when you came to this country and you walked into Gold's Gym, was it what you expected it to be, or was it just like an average gym? Well,
No, it was actually almost what I expected to be, because the gyms in Europe were like that.
I see. Okay.
It's a house with a lot of equipment,
Yeah.
cheap, free weights.
Mhm.
And by the way, we should talk about free weights versus machines,
We will do that.
because that information never really got out that I learned.
Okay.
And it's also realities like this. If I show you in winning bodybuilding an exercise, and you say, okay, here,
Mhm.
it's bench press.
Okay.
And you say, I'm going to do it with the bar, or there's a machine you can do it.
Right.
There are some exercises that you can do on the machine, and they're as effective as the free weight,
Okay.
but there are very many exercises, especially in the dumbbell area,
Okay.
where the machines don't replace the free weights.
Right.
And the reason is this: if you lie down, let's say, and you take flies, you take the dumbbells,
Mhm.
if you have 40 pounds, 50 pounds, you feel good, you go heavier.
Mhm.
It's really different. Then you train, it's never the same movement, because this thing is moving. It depends on how
Right.
you
Right.
straight.
There's other muscles that come into play.
When you go to the machine, you're stuck, and you're only doing this back and forth. Then you got many problems on the machine. One, you get used to it.
Right.
Stop screwing the muscle. And number two, the machine, you remember Dan Howard in
Sure.
in the gym?
Sure.
Dan Howard helped make machines to jog all.
Right. He helped build them.
The guy was 6'5". So when he made the machines, he made it for himself. Then I will go there and I can't reach him. He can't reach.
I remember that very well. Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I really recommend, if you want to be a champion, that you use some machines that they work on you, and the rest will be free weights.
So you mix them up.
You got to mix it up.
That gym back in those days, there was no frills and thrills. There was no cardio. There was no Stairmaster, no treadmill, no bicycles. So people say, well, what did you do for cardio to get lean? But we didn't do cardio.
We didn't do it. We didn't talk about it.
Right.
You didn't even talk about that stuff. And then, by the way, I want to correct this problem about cardio.
Yeah.
I understand cardio requires that you walk and you do a certain amount of brisk exercise for a certain amount of time to bring the heart rate up.
Yes.
Then you can monitor.
Right.
However, the way Arnold and I trained, because we believed in training as heavy as possible, certain amount of reps, let's say 10 or 12 whatever it was for the bench press, for the back or chest.
Okay.
And then we did another thing, was we limited the between rest. And by limiting the between rest, if you really training, let's say, flies and dips, or triceps and biceps, and we will go and we do tricep, walk over while the triceps resting and do bicep,
Yeah, superset.
and then you do curls, that is cardio.
Yep.
And cardio with weights is better cardio than with no weights.
I agree with you.
And the reason is, when you grab a weight, okay, let's say I want to do like a lateral raise, for example. I'm doing a lateral raise, and this is now burns 1 calorie, let's say, per minute.
Okay.
If I grab 30 pounds, or 20 or 10, that burns double the calories per that minute. So weightlifting, if you do it with not pausing and resting in between too much, like you really go supersets and go, is more cardio than cardio.
So basically,
I hope people learn that.
it's a cardio weight workout. Because someone said to me, I work out with weights. They said, what do you do for cardio? I said, I just work out faster.
That is the fastest answer, but
Yeah.
after that, people will ask you questions, because I explain similar things.
Yeah.
It says more cardio, and after that they will pause and get another recommendation and say, okay, what do I do for cardio now? And I say, was I talking to the wall?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they didn't listen. But in those days, let's go back a minute. There was no secrets about training. It was just hard work. It was hard work.
The biggest secret was that, but no one told you. You just have to see it,
Yeah.
including you. Like you, I know what you were doing. You were doing wrestling.
Yeah.
And I always made fun of you, by the way. You know
Why?
that. I made a lot of fun of
You didn't like me?
No, it was much better than that. Because when I first came there, I came from New York once in a while, Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, sure.
And he was so in love with me. He says, Franco, come over here, we train, you know. And then I say, yeah, let's train. And then I will go there, put 400 in bench press. You know, and I say, no, if you want, I can move a plate, you know, because it's to move a, you know. I can move a plate and then you can do your set. And he says, no, leave it there. And I, oh my God, how strong is this guy? And he would lie down, Bruno Sammartino. And I was like, I could do 8 reps. I was so strong.
Yeah, I remember.
4 or 5, 8 reps. And he would lie down and do 10 like this. I would get up, walk away, say, Arnold, I said, did you see that? He says, Franco, you have to give it up, thinking that you're the strongest here. He said, there are so many people who are as strong as Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
And then Cambola, in incline, he was like very strong.
Yeah.
And then was some other guy, and there I'm doing flies with really heavy that day, like 60s or 80s, and this guy comes and grabs my weights and he's doing this like was nothing.
Yeah.
It's like mind-boggling.
Yeah. So why were you making fun of me?
I was making fun of you because you were always training and you were so friendly, and you were wrestling on Thursdays in downtown.
Yeah.
And then once in a while he brought me tickets. He says, you got to come to the wrestling. So I came a couple of times to the wrestling match. Then I cut on one day. I said, wait a minute, you've been wrestling every Thursday. Why don't I get a ticket every Thursday? And then he don't answer it. You know, he don't not answering that question. I said, I got it. I don't get invited this week because I think you're going to lose. You're losing. You must know that. You feel like you're going to win, and then you give me the ticket.
Well,
You remember?
I do remember that. But I remember I trained pretty hard. My bench was way over 400, and I was, you know, those days of going heavy, that's all we knew, right? Well, today, my joints hurt.
That's not from the 400-pound bench press.
What's it from?
It's all your fault that the joints hurt.
Why?
You can't blame the weights.
No?
No, don't do that. You never blame anybody else, even if it's their fault.
So what causes I get these complaints all the time. Boy, my joints, my shoulder hurts, this hurts.
You understand about vitamins and minerals, number one.
Okay.
But you don't think you take that as serious. The joints, unless they're out of place,
Mm-hmm.
and unless they're damaged, they get damaged when they're out of place.
Mhm.
Otherwise, a joint, when it's in place, lasts forever.
That's working properly.
You know,
Yeah.
it's working properly, including the hip, the knee, and the shoulders, and the elbows.
Okay.
Now, the joints do hurt when you have an imbalance in the diet, and one of them is in the diet. If you don't pay attention, what do? You eat what you like. And sometimes not necessarily is the best food for you. You need to think halfway to eat. Is that good for me? You know, think that way too a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in America, they make all these cakes, for example. They don't do them as much in Europe. Big tarts for your birthday and for all the stuff. And I looked at it and there's 10 colors on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow, red, pink. And to me, maybe for my chiropractic background, I look at it and this is all red dye in there because the colors come from artificial from red dye. So I really am turned off to eat that cake. American people are trained in general to say, oh, this is so good looking, can I have a bigger piece? You know?
Oh, yeah.
You have to stop that.
Yeah.
And also what I'm saying is, as you get older, the body, people think the body gets weaker. Everybody. I want you to know that inch per inch, the muscle is stronger when you get older than when you're young. But here's the muscle. Less flexible, it needs to warm up longer, it needs to be stretched,
Mm-hmm.
and then the joints and the attachments hurt because we never really follow the right diet, and it requires, for example, more oil stuff. Like they recommend chondroit. I had it in the office for years. I had many people try it even. I gave Arnold, they said 2 bottles. Look, your knee hurts, here is chondroid. You know, glucosamine, they have 2 products.
Yeah.
Everybody's taking, everybody came back to me saying, I don't feel anything, I don't feel anything, I don't feel anything. Okay, I put these people on a lot omega-3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everybody says, that helps me. And they don't sell omega-3 for knee joints,
It's oil.
you know?
Yeah.
But it's oil that's absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the idea is go back to your simple food and say, okay, this food, I'm not allergic, it's good for you. Make sure that you digest the food. And number 2, is stick to few good things. One of them is with the joints and muscles and the train, you have to almost like make a list, say, what are number 1s here? Number 1 for us would be calcium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's another number 1, I should put maybe number 1 over calcium, that's protein.
Yeah.
We have to get enough protein in grams of protein that you need. Next step is calcium. And after calcium then comes, let's say, the omega-3. And before these 3 vitamins I mentioned to you comes vitamin D,
Mm-hmm.
the sun.
I get it, yeah.
Either you take the sun or take vitamin D, because vitamin D, this is the most important information, and they never knew people until the last couple of years. And in the last 2 years, even the medical doctors, no matter what doctor I go, they recommend vitamin D. And it's because vitamin D helps absorb the other stuff you eat.
What about magnesium?
Magnesium, actually, people don't know that. Calcium, if you're too low on calcium, the body can take magnesium for the bone.
I see, okay.
So calcium, magnesium, and zinc, or calcium, magnesium. Magnesium is secondary. It's like replaces calcium. It's not as important.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions, Rick?
Not yet, but we're going to break right here for 1 minute and we'll be back. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Grayson, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
It's Rick Grayson. He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.